Attention! Welcome to the Film Mages Podcast, where the popcorn is our ammunition, the couch is our foxhole, and the cinema is a place of worship.
Now let me see your war face!
Good morning, my fabulous film major friends. How are you doing? It's a new week. Oh my god.
The fact that you can be so chipper at 7 a.m. makes me know you are the devil. You are the white devil.
Thank you. Honestly, I was not feeling chipper at all, and then I come onto the Zoom and see how much you guys are. So I'm like, okay, well, hey, someone's got to bring the energy. Someone has got to bring us to home plate. And here
Never
we are.
in my life have I brought the energy before
this.
10 a.m. Never in my life.
That's
I think it's fun how I started the previous two spooky season episodes kind of making noises like a ghost, and now I'm making noises like a zombie.
We're getting there.
Yeah, we're running the gamut of ghouls and goblins, but that's right. Mick did introduce us. Hello, welcome to the Film Majors. I am Zach.
I am Mick.
I'm Alexis.
That was once Alexis.
That was at one point Alexis. A phantasm.
In life, they called her Alexis.
The spirit of Alexis flows through the ether, and she looks upon us all and says, "What is going on?"
Whoa.
Yeah,
holy fucking
true.
shit.
Good job, buddy.
I do see how, witnessing your friends be just absolutely fucking fried can start to inspire some energy.
Yeah, you guys are like bringing me to life right now.
No, because that
just
that
like
has
the
been
white
happening
devils
for...
who just soak up the energy of their counterparts.
I am a Dementor.
Yes.
I'm a Dementor right now.
Oh, you really
soak
are.
up the
Where's my
pain.
chocolate? Where's my wand? I need a big stick.
Show me that wand. I've definitely I feel like been gaining energy in a similar way on set because, as may have been mentioned in our very first episode of this month, this is our first episode where none of us are in the same place. So there might be a little talking over one another. Yeah, no, it's a nice respite.
It is a nice one.
Alexis, where are you at right now?
Where are you calling in from?
I'm still in Fresno.
Fresno, California, baby.
Fresno, California,
Represent.
baby. Direct from my bed with my dog laying right next to me with blankets all on my fucking legs. Hell yeah, brother. Where you at,
I'm
Zachy
so
boy?
jealous. Zachy boy is calling in from Eugene, Oregon. I am up here. I'm staying with my father, and I am deep in production on the very first Show Monkey Studios feature, American Flake.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Past and future guest Drew Patterson directing. I'm the production sound recordist. I am an executive producer, and I'm making my feature film acting debut. I've already shot my scenes, and this has been a fucking wild whirlwind ride, and it's been a blast, and I'm so tired.
Let's go.
And yeah, we're gonna keep doing it at 9 a.m. today, which should give you a little inkling of how fucking early it is when we're recording right now on a Sunday.
Delectable.
Oh, the Lord's Day.
Scrumptious.
And hey,
Fuck
White
the Lord.
Devil, where you at?
White Devil is currently in Bend, Oregon. Right now, I have the Three Sisters right outside my window. It's nice because the sun's coming up right now. I have been traveling all over the Pacific Northwest, working on this travel show commercial. We started in the Canada-Washington border, and we're just working our way down to San Francisco, and it's been basically just a big party. So I am exhausted, but in a good way. And I'm just so happy to see my friends' faces again. It's really fantastic.
It's been quite some time.
It has been quite some time. But unfortunately, because I've been so busy, I must admit to our listeners that I have not been doing my due diligence. I have not been watching films. And I know that's what they tune in for. I know the fans really tune in for the What's Going On segments because they want to know what is happening, what we've seen. They want to know our thoughts, our feelings.
They're freaking out.
They are freaking out. Right now they're freaking out. They don't love it. I saw part of Danny McBride's Halloween, and that was interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, that's a fucking strange film. I kind of want to finish that series because I've heard Halloween Ends is fucking nuts.
Yeah, I've heard that too, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've basically just been hanging out with people in my department, and we've been watching Halloween movies on television late at night, and that's the one I've caught most of, and it's odd.
The show.
Alexis, you've seen Halloween? You've seen the 2018?
I think I have, actually. I want to say, I'm like, I've seen like at least one or two from that series, and I think it was the last one, or maybe it was the second. Halloween. No, I think it was the last one. Yeah, because I was like, you know what? It's on. I think it was. This was before Max. Was Max when it was still HBO Max, the good old days.
HBO Max.
Yeah, I think they dropped it on there, and I was like, I should watch that. And then I watched it, and I was like, well, that was a movie. That was...
Yeah.
Yep. I've actually watched movies this week.
Ooh. Alexis, please, lay it on us.
What is it?
I'm being totally honest, guys. I'm burning the candle at both ends. So be very proud of me that I managed to sneak in 2 movies this week.
I am proud of you. You're trembling off to bed like Ebenezer Scrooge. You've got your candle in one hand. You've got your floppy nightcap on. What you been watching, homie?
I started out the week by watching the 20th anniversary House of a Thousand Corpses in theaters.
Oh, nice.
You know, so as far as I understand this, Rob Zombie is totally a normal dude in interviews. Like, you know, doesn't seem like there's a few screws up in his head loose or something going wrong in his parents' bedroom.
Nice.
It's too early, guys. But yeah, no, honestly, his wife, Sherry Moon, she gives me life as baby. I fucking love that bitch. She's so unhinged in those movies. And also Sid Haig, who plays fucking the clown. He's originally from Fresno. My friend actually knows somebody who met him. Like, he came to one of the restaurants over here in Tower and like tipped him $100 or whatever. So apparently, good dude.
Yeah. Nice.
Love that for him.
Local legend, Sid Haig.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, I've never seen House of a Thousand Corpses, and I really want to.
See, I had a roommate, like, well, my first roommate ever back in like, I want to say like 2016. She was really into Rob Zombie, and that's why I watched them for the first time. Like, pretty much like almost all the movies. Honestly, I wouldn't say that it's like my favorite franchise. I think just because it is like a snuff. It's just an artistic snuff film in many ways. It's not the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but I can see how like it takes so much inspiration from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, especially part 2. Rob Zombie is one sick fucking man in the head, to be honest.
Rob Zombie apparently is vegan. Like, he's a huge animal rights activist.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this man in interviews, totally normal. This man in the visuals and fucking, like, shit that he comes up with for his movies, fucking sick. a sick man. And you know what? Honestly, like his relationship with his wife is just so precious in so many ways because like she's in every single one of his movies. And you guys both know how long hours are on film sets and that they can literally be director and like actor and be together like in their normal lives and then be together on set like so often. Like they must really love each other. Like
Yeah.
They have to love each other.
Yeah.
Because if they didn't,
yeah, that would not be working out
Good
so
Lord.
hot.
So, Alexis, you referred to House of a Thousand Corpses as an artistic snuff film.
Yes.
I watched Cannibal Holocaust and Solo this week.
oh really?
Okay.
God. Wait, another classic I haven't seen. What was it like?
Cannibal Holocaust, like
The infamous Cannibal Holocaust.
it's. I can't really recommend it on ethical grounds, since they did kill live animals in that
What?
film. Yeah, it's like an Italian kind of forebear to the found footage genre.
Yeah. It's notorious
It's like-
because it actually shows animals getting slaughtered.
No.
Yeah,
Big no.
and it's like, you know, it's kind of a historically important film, so I'm like glad I've seen it, and there's a lot of stuff that it's going for that I appreciate. I think that there were a lot of kind of documentaries coming out at the time that were like very exploitative of like uncontacted tribes. And like portraying them in kind of a light that was, you know, unfavorable and untrue. And,
Right.
you know, the kind of twist in the movie is that the like documentarians who you find out were murdered were kind of like essentially committed the titular cannibal holocaust. They committed this slaughter of this uncontacted cannibal tribe and then paid the fucking price. And they are kind of the real, like, savage force in the movie to be, like, contended with and feared. So, like, I like that from a historical perspective. It did a lot of important stuff for the genre. It is extremely fucking icky and, yeah, you can't fucking kill live animals in a movie. That's fucked up. I don't care if you don't have any money.
It's a big
Not
no
cool,
for
not
me.
chill. It's not. I'm not gonna recommend it unless you're like, you know, real sick guy who's like, I gotta see all of it. I gotta see all the things.
You know, it's interesting because, like, you know, I enjoy a classic Western, you know, as much as the next person, but sometimes it is hard to watch those films because the horse wrangler on Nope would describe methods that they used to be common practice in Hollywood, you know, in the black and white days of getting a horse to like trip or
Big
fall over
sad.
and stuff like that. And they
Big
would
sad.
legit just like tie their legs together and they would, you know, slap it on the ass and it would run into frame. And when it would hit a certain point, its legs would just break and it would just like tumble
Oh my
forward
God.
and shit. And that was the method. Like there wasn't a way to they didn't train it to fall over like they do now, but they would just do shit like that. And that is one part of, you know, the time capsule that is film and classic movies that, got to be honest, is not great. Not great. The way they used
Yeah.
to treat animals is not so good.
So you'll go on the record and say that you do not condone animal cruelty in movies.
I do not condone animal cruelty in movies.
Brave stance.
However-
brave stance.
However, the depiction of animal cruelty in which no animals are in fact harmed is fair game. You know, so
Alexis, how's Mitchie doing? How's the dog doing?
Yeah,
how's the
how is
alive
Mitchie?
dog
How's
doing?
Mitchie?
How's the real
Mitchie's-
alive dog?
Doing great. And if it weren't for the fact that she is highly loved and sweet and a little baby angel, I would sick her on you guys for the amount of times you have made me watch a dog die on the screen while being right next to her and therefore reminding me of her own mortality, and therefore reminding me of the short stance my mental health will take.
Oh,
Here.
I've been hanging out with the boy. He
Which
watched
boy?
Cannibal Holocaust with me. The boy, Julius.
Oh, lovely. How is Julius?
My sweet little buddy. He's doing
Show
great.
me the baby.
Bring me the child.
He's not up
the
right now. I'd
baby.
have to fucking you can bring me the child. You can bring me the boy.
Speaking of bring me the child, I also watched.
No, wait.
I also watched Train to Busan last night, which is
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
a rewatch. I think this may be my 5th or 6th time that I've seen the movie. But it is my favorite zombie movie. It's pretty much my favorite
Good to
movie
hear.
of that entire genre for the most part.
Wow. Hot takes from Alexis.
Super hot takes.
I also rewatched Train to Busan recently. I don't think I've been doing my Halloween spooktacular list, but I have kind of notoriously been falling asleep during the movies because I'm so fucking burnt out.
Yeah.
But I watched a good
Film
chunk of Train to
production.
Busan. That movie's really good. That movie fucking owns.
So fucking good. It fucking slaps every fucking time
Is
I watch
there-
it. Remember, I brought that up during the movies you didn't know would break your heart. And let me tell you,
Yeah.
I was messy and unfuckable last night.
There are a few
yeah.
more things that are more badass than going into a horde of zombies and, like, wrapping your forearms in duct tape. Like,
Dude.
fucking...
And just fucking
Okay.
wailing on them.
I'm just saying, you got Daddy Gong Yu, and then you got Beefcake Papa in that movie. I love Beefcake Papa. He is...
listeners, these are not the actual character names. These are they're the characters' essences that Alexis is describing.
Yeah, Beefcake
That would
Papa.
be Sang Hua, played by Ma Dong-seok,
Yeah.
who is, fucking just phenomenal in that movie. I
Incredibly
love him.
popular South Korean actor. He's in a lot of like action and gangster movies. But yeah, he's Beefcake
And
Papa.
also in Eternals.
He's what?
He's also in Eternals, a movie that does not exist.
Oh my god. We don't talk about the Eternals here on this podcast. We don't discuss it.
Haven't seen it. Wouldn't know. Don't know.
It does have the funniest scene of 2021 in it, where Barry Keoghan bashes a kid over the head with a rock.
That
He
is your
literally
favorite
said,
thing.
"Bring me the child."
Yeah,
Bring
for
me the
real.
boy. It's such a fucking funny scene.
You're fucked up.
The one other. I'm sorry. I'm gonna show it to you, and I fucking dare you not to laugh. The two other movies that I had not seen that I watched since we last recorded is I went and saw The Creator in theaters, which you can go back and listen to. You can go back and listen to our Texas Chainsaw Massacre episode because I think Mick and Dylan said a lot of Dylan of Are You Afraid of the Dark Universe? Did a little collab. Go back and listen. They said more or less what my feelings are. I think I may have liked the movie even a little more than you guys. Thought it was just an absolute blast. Fucking feast for the eyes. Sci-fi epic. Original. When do we get that? And yes, the village raid sequence, the fight on the bridge is
Incredible.
fucking great. It has one of my favorite sci-fi robot designs. So good.
It's terrifying.
Yeah. And then I also yesterday watched Solo, or the 120 Days of Sodom.
No,
Which is,
not that one either.
I will say, I think that if you're, one, debating filmmaking ethics, and two, debating does this film use extreme filmmaking to get its point across and have artistic merit. I feel like Solo is it's a better film than Cannibal Holocaust. It's definitely like a quote unquote classier film, which is not hard to do when your opponent is a movie that like murders a fucking pangolin on screen. But yeah, Salo is like a really, really brutal exploration of like Italian fascism and like the pointlessness of it and like the hypocrisy contained therein. Yeah, extremely fucking bleak watch. But like, it's weird to say it's a gorgeously made film, given the things depicted on screen. But it is a really beautifully made movie. And, you know, nobody actually eats shit during that movie. But it sure looks like they do.
But we have seen a movie on this show where someone does actually eat shit.
Well, we haven't seen... What?
Yes.
Yeah, they're a John Waters film.
Yeah.
But I thought that was Pink Flamingos. I didn't think that happened in Female Trouble.
You guys told me it did. I was like, oh, that's fake. You're like, no,
I
that's
told
real.
you it happened in Pink Flamingos, not in Female Trouble. Yeah.
Y'all are gaslighting me. This
I'm
whole
not.
time.
I'm
back
not
and listen. Go
gaslighting
back and
you.
listen.
I'm pretty sure
Female
that
Trouble. Y'all told me that.
does he eat shit in that movie?
Yeah, he does in the beginning.
No, that's in Pink Flamingos.
Oh, all right. Well,
Yeah. Yeah, we've discussed a movie where someone actually eats shit,
Indeed.
but we haven't done a full episode.
We've
on it,
also
which,
discussed
could
where
change
like
depending
people
on how
get
we're feeling.
like a fucking lobster bisque soup poop.
What?
what?
It's like when you watch the Human Centipede.
Oh god. Yeah, that's
Like just mentioning that, I feel like steals people's joy.
let me tell you
your
how
face is
fucking
so funny right now. You see that joy that
Again,
you had
we
this
all-
morning?
we all-
I'm slowly reacquiring it.
I know.
And it was just by
It's funny
mentioning
how
poop and the Human
we
Centipede.
all push and pull each other's energy. Yeah.
who's the real Dementor here? Yeah, let me
Yeah.
tell you how whoever directed the Human Centipede has fucking 100% seen Solo.
Technically,
And, you
I
know,
would
it's
not
kind-
be a Dementor because I subsist on your suffering, not your happiness.
You're more of a
So then what would you
Cenobite.
be? Ah, I see.
We have such sights to show you.
Yeah. I will
Do we-
feast upon your soul.
Do we have any Alexis, did you see anything else? Any other thoughts on Train to Busan?
Great movie. If you haven't seen it, like I was literally watching it with somebody who'd never seen the movie before, and I literally got to end the movie with them being like, that movie was really fucking good. And I was like, I know, I never lie. So vindicated. I always love that for me. And as I will reiterate, the fucking end scene, you know, there's truly so many layers to that movie that I feel like I could literally just do an episode on that movie and be very happy doing so. So I won't go on about it right now, but yeah.
All right,
That's it.
sweet. Well, you know, we'll save it. All right, well, fuck it. Let's
Shall
hop
we?
out of what's going on.
You
I don't know what is
literally
hot
have
anymore.
a massive heart on for Tom Hardy.
He has a Tom Hard on.
It's the Hardy heart on.
It's a Tom Hardy hard on.
And
And
we're
who is
back.
serving my lovely dish is Mr. Austin Butler himself. Are we back?
And we back, and we back, and we back, and we back.
Oh, we back.
So, as previously
We're back.
mentioned,
Da-na-na-na. Yeah, go ahead.
it is spooky season.
This episode is going to make our listeners tired. Like
Yeah,
the
no.
way we're talking.
If you're
Literally
listening to the,
lying on my back right now.
Yeah, listeners, don't do this while you're operating a motor vehicle.
yeah,
please.
if you're listening to this and driving, don't.
Pull over.
But
Pull
yeah,
over at your nearest rest stop.
This will not keep you awake on the grapevine at midnight.
No, this is actually a dangerous episode.
Yeah, no, I've heard that, what's this? Several car accidents have been reported across the United States caused by the
Every Friday?
Filmmakers podcast. But
Boy.
as previously mentioned,
No.
this is spooky season. And we're in our big
thank God for
topic. By the way, little sidebar: our podcast has a cameo role in American Flake. Our lovely podcast art
do love that
designer
for us.
Zoe is also the art director for this film, and there's a little Film Majors poster that you can peep in the production design.
Inch by inch, we claw ourselves into relevance.
Clawing our way to the top of the podcasting pile.
Crawling our way to the top.
But yes, it's our big
like
topic,
that.
and this was actually
It is a big topic.
This was a mixed suggestion, so I'm going to let him take it away.
Yeah. I feel like for the film that we're discussing today, a movie can make you feel a lot of things. It can make you feel sad. It can make you feel happy. It can even make you feel horny. But one of my favorites is a movie that makes you feel hungry. A movie that stimulates the appetite. A movie that has such good visuals and sound that it just makes you want to eat the dish that they're showing on screen. So I want to ask, I want to put it out to the table. What are our favorite, food movies, or movies that, as you know, just stimulate the appetite?
Solo, or the
when you're
120
cook
Days of
something.
Sodom.
You see, I was going to say Raw. So, okay, that's a good choice, too.
Oh, I guess I could have gone with Fresh.
Bones and all?
Give me a side of ass cheeks.
As a somewhat more real answer, The Godfather always makes me hungry.
Oh, yeah, the pasta sauce cooking scene?
I've basically the pasta
sausages,
sauce
the
recipe.
tomatoes?
Yeah, the
wine
pasta
and the
sauce.
sugar?
Yeah, the pasta sauce recipe that I pretty much make is the one from The Godfather.
I remember I used to watch my dad make pasta sauce, and then I watched The Godfather, and I was like, oh, that's just what my dad does. Oh, okay. So other people are doing it. Okay.
Literally exactly the same. But some fine Italian cooking, leave the gun, take the cannoli, all the fucking oranges that pop up in that movie. That is a movie that all kinds of food in that movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say I love the scene when they're getting ready to go and assassinate the crooked cop. And the other guy, the other gangster, I forget his name, who's trying to get the Corleone family in the drug trade. What was his name?
Scalazzo, I think.
Something like that, yeah. And they're all sitting down, ready to go to this restaurant. They're all eating Chinese takeout. I don't know why. I just always really love that scene where all these Italian gangsters, right before they go out and whack somebody, they're all like, hey, let's get some Chinese food.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. That's what I would do. Gabagool. I have to say my own, which, not to steal an easy answer, but Stanley Tucci's Big Night from, I think, 1996 or 97. Such a good movie. That is such a good movie with Minnie Driver.
I prefer a Big Driver.
Alexis
definitely prefers a Big Driver.
No, she's a Big Driver fan all the way.
Don't purr.
A Daddy Driver, you might say.
Big Daddy Driver.
Big Daddy Driver.
Oh my God.
If you were a new listener, we were referring to Adam Driver, if you have not guessed yet.
Yep.
That whole movie where they make the timpano, the cooking montage they have when they're making their dish. The movie of Big Night it's a fantastic independent movie from the 90s. Also, Ian Holmes is in it. where basically there's a struggling Italian restaurant on the Jersey Shore in the 50s, 60s, and these two Italian brothers, immigrants, are struggling to keep their business alive because in the 50s, no one wanted authentic Italian food. They wanted, spaghetti and meatballs. They wanted American Italian food, and they're trying to make genuine stuff. And it's an interesting look into being accepted into a society, or how much you integrate, how much you keep of yourself, and that kind of difficult balance. This beautiful film, great music, great food. Check it out if you have not seen Big Night yet.
Nice. Alexis? What makes you hungry?
I remember I saw the movie Eat, Pray, Love with Julia Roberts
I've
in
never seen
theaters when it. Yeah, I saw it in theaters when it originally came out. It's based on a book. But she takes she basically she's like, love life not going so great. And then she's like, you know what? Actually, I think I need to find myself. I think she breaks up with her significant other and just straight up takes like a trip to Italy. She's just like deuces, y'all.
Yeah,
and she, she has pizza a couple times throughout the movie, and she has pasta and like all this stuff. And literally just looking at it on screen, I was always like, oh my God, that looks so fucking good. Especially the pizza. Cause it's not like how I've ever had pizza like here in the United States, it's like Neapolitan pizza or whatever it is. But it has one of my favorite, scenes where like she's eating this pizza and she's like, oh my God, I fucking love this pizza. And she's there with her friend and she's like, hey, what's going on? You look like you're breaking up with your pizza. And the girl is basically like, I can't eat this. I don't fit into anymore. I don't fit into my pants anymore. Like that she's been on this an Italian trip so long that she straight up no longer fits into her jeans. And
Hell
Julia
yeah.
Roberts' character is like, first of all, eat that shit. It's fucking delicious. Second of all, we're literally going to go buy you quote unquote, like fat pants or whatever, and like literally they size up like one size in jeans, and the girl is still a very small white woman, so like whatever.
Classic.
But one of my favorite things that Julia Roberts says in it is basically like, hey, when you get naked in front of a guy, have they ever turned you down? And she's like, no, of course not. And she's like, because it doesn't matter. They don't care. They have a fucking naked woman in front of them. Eat your fucking pizza.
If that ain't the truth.
And I'm like, yes. Yes,
Eat, pray, love.
God bless.
Eat, pray, love.
I'm sensing a bit of an issue right now.
That we've only listed Italian food.
Yeah. Clearly there's a monopoly in movies where food movies are almost pretty much Italian.
Well,
And I had not thought about that, but it's actually kind of true.
I've
There's some
got
good French food films.
Ratatouille, fucking
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah, I was
of
about
course,
to say,
I mean,
Ratatouille.
I made
the classic Ratatouille.
I made the titular dish from Ratatouille. Very good. I didn't think that I was gonna love it. 'Cause, I mean, it's like, oh my God, I'm forgetting what's in it now, but it wasn't something where I was immediately like, it's a lot of like,
The one where it's all sliced up.
yes,
Yeah,
where
sliced
it's
vegetables.
sliced really thin. It's a lot of like squashes, and I'm not really
Like
a
eggplant and
big, yeah, like zucchini, and like I didn't think that I was gonna love it, and it's so good. The red
if it's done
pepper
right, it's really good.
sauce that you make is
I
so
feel
fucking
like that's
tasty.
a reason it's a comfort dish for like so many people, and it is actually incredibly simple to make. I mean, maybe.
Take some fucking time when you're doing it Ratatouille style. When you're doing Ratatouille, sorry, Remy style.
Remy style
Remy
Ratatouille,
style.
yes.
But I'd also like to throw out Parasite. Because
I was actually just thinking of that. Yeah.
The the noodle dish that's made in that movie looks real fucking tasty.
Yeah, with the steak.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really good. What was that called again?
Oh my god, it's slipping my mind. I'm not gonna get there. It
starts with
7:45.
J, I think.
Maybe.
Huh? Yeah, but I agree. No, I was actually thinking of
Is
Parasite.
it a black bean noodle?
I don't remember. It's definitely like a dark sauce that they put in it.
Oh,
it's like ramen noodles.
Jjajangmyeon, something like that. It's literally just translates to black bean noodle.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like some. I remember the name of it. It's not like kind of an official dish. It's like a combination of a couple different dishes together. But it looks real fucking tasty, and I want to try it.
You know, a movie that always makes me want a fucking cheeseburger is Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction, like, even though you don't get like a lot of great shots of food, it's like discussed like in the movie like so much. And like with Big Kahuna Burger, I'm just like, he
loves
talks about
food.
He loves food and film. Yeah,
he's
like
bummed he couldn't
in Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah, and he's bummed he couldn't be here. But you know, I'm out of state. Like, what can you do?
He couldn't get on the Zoom call.
Yeah, no, he you know, if he's not going to be here in person, he doesn't want to be here at all. So,
right.
But
okay, I have another one that is, it's not a movie, but it is kind of a good segue into our film. But we've all seen, I know we've talked about it before, but we've all seen the Hannibal TV show.
No.
With Mads Mikkelsen.
Before we talk about the Hannibal TV show, I am going to mention Chef, even though I know that you hate it, Mick.
Chef.
Which one is Chef?
I love it.
Is that the
Chef
taco truck one?
Yeah, that's the Jon Favreau one.
Not a fan of
Jon
that movie.
Favreau and fucking John Leguizamo, and I fucking love John Leguizamo. And those some of the Cuban sandwiches look fucking delicious. I don't know. And then there's beignets. I don't know, man. They go traveling like across the country pretty much, and they be stopping at different things. Yeah,
Chef is a good food movie. It's not a good movie.
I kind of want to watch Chef because I tried watching it when I was like 10 and I didn't care for it. So I'm not gonna go off my opinion from when I was 10 years old.
My stance is that it would have been fine if Jon Favreau, like, a lot of it could have been fixed if Jon Favreau had just directed it and not also been the lead. Like, I'm sorry, but like when Jon Favreau, who is in his full on like chef mode, so he's got like scraggly beard and this whole thing, he's not exactly a stunner, has like a romance with Scarlett Johansson.
That's the power of cooking, baby.
I guess because
you know, I
Sofia
think the thing
Vergara,
is that okay, yeah, they're definitely like way, way, way hotter than is necessary. But also, I would like to point out that in my whole lifetime, I have known like at least a dozen women that have hooked up with the fucking cooks. And Midgie, please don't cry. With like these dogs are about to cry. Please don't do that to me right now.
Cameo.
Yeah. Oh, she's a baby.
Yeah.
She's just a baby.
Give me some of that delicious sweaty face.
Alexis, you gotta move that mic up. You gotta move that mic up, fam. I'm watching it. I'm watching Alexis's mic float further away from her face as her dog like paws at her.
As you just hear these licking sounds in the distance.
Okay, but to reiterate my point, I have known like half a dozen to a dozen like hot women that have hooked up with the ugliest fucking sous chefs and chefs like and cooks, and it's literally just the riz of somebody being able to fucking cook for you that you're just like, hell yeah, put that give me that meat in every sense.
Hell yeah.
Oh my lord.
Well, yeah, Mick, speaking of meat, you were talking Hannibal.
Yeah, that movie. Well, it's so good. I call it a movie. That TV show. Again, I always recommend to people if you like the Hannibal franchise, if you can call it that. that show has, as we've talked about, has made violence very beautiful in the way they portray it. It's almost like art displays. But when it comes to cooking human flesh, which, as we know, Hannibal Lecter is known for eating his victims, it's like they do full-on chef, like Netflix chef table type sequences
really
of Hannibal Lecter preparing someone's thigh, and by the time he's done, if you are not actually like salivating a little bit, then you're
never
just not into
eaten
food.
a person.
Yeah. It's like done so well where it's like, fuck, like I might actually try that. That looks seasoned perfectly. He marinated the hell out of that guy's bicep.
Side note, I have had the songs from Sweeney Todd stuck in my head the last few days because I finally listened to the whole full album of the new cast recording of the Broadway show with Josh Groban. And all I can hear right now is fucking God, That's Good. And the part where she's like, things like being careful with your coriander, that's what makes the gravy grander. God, that's good. And you're just eating people. That's all I can think about now. I'm like, you know what? Actually, that is a movie where I'm just like, you know what? I'm genuinely really curious to know what the meat pies tasted like. Like, everybody's like real juiced up about these meat pies. I really want to know. I might want to have a little nibby nib.
A little nibby nibby at the meat pie. Josh Groban is in Sweeney Todd.
He is Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, he's Sweeney Todd.
Oh my god.
So
he sounds so fucking good.
Yeah,
I'm sure
so
he
good.
does. I'm sure he does.
Better pick than
He's
Johnny
got the
Depp, who
perfect
can't
voice, to
fucking
be honest,
sing.
to be Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, again, better casting than Johnny Depp, who cannot fucking sing to save his life. But why are we talking about movies where you might be preparing people in a delicious way?
Well, yeah, that's a very good question, Zach, and I'm glad you asked that. So, well, today, folks, we are discussing a rather divisive film, as I found out later on. We are discussing 1999's Ravenous, directed by Antonia Bird. It is a horror drama that Google says. I would classify this as a horror comedy.
Fucking absolutely.
Ravenous is, I'm not even going to say what it's about. I'm going to read what it's about. So, Ravenous. Upon receiving reports of missing persons at Fort Spencer, a remote army outpost on the western frontier, Captain John Boyd, played by Guy Pearce, investigates. After arriving at his new post, Boyd and his regiment aid a wounded frontiersman, F.W.
Calhoun.
How do you say his name? Robert Carlyle's?
Calhoun.
His character?
Calhoun.
Calhoun, right, that's right. F.W. Calhoun, who recounts a horrifying tale of a wagon train murdered by its supposed guide, a vicious U.S. Army colonel gone rogue. Fearing the worst, the regiment heads out into the wilderness to verify Calhoun's gruesome claims. And that describes like the first 20 minutes of the film.
Yeah, 20 to 30, yeah.
I have to say, I saw this for the first time, I think this year.
It was this year.
If I recall correctly, with Zach. I had never seen it before, and I saw it at the New Beverly. So it was on film. It was a part of a double bill, and I believe the first
one was Near Dark. It was Near Dark. Catherine Bigelow's.
Right, Near Dark, the Catherine Bigelow vampire film, which I liked but didn't love. We've discussed that on this show briefly.
I feel like that was the movie that we were both more excited to go see, because I had never seen it.
Yeah, we were both really excited for Near Dark. Hadn't seen it before, and then Ravenous came on, and I completely ate it up. No pun intended. I thought its vibes, I thought its weird balance of tones were super cool. Hey, Mr. Harris, how you doing, buddy?
Oh my god! Just you can say hello since you're fucking lurking behind me.
We have a little cameo going on. Hey,
everybody.
Okay.
It's fantastic.
All
I'm
right.
gonna say I
We are a celebrity.
Yes. All right. Please continue, Meg.
This is our paparazzi in the
So yeah,
background.
that's our first paparazzi. So I saw it in a theater with a crowd. It was wonderful seeing it on film, and I rewatched it in my hotel room the other night, and I was afraid that I was not going to enjoy it as much, just like alone on a hotel TV, and it wouldn't hold up because the first time I saw it in the perfect environment. But I have to say, on a rewatch, I think Ravenous might be one of my favorite like spooky season movies now. I love it. I love Ravenous. I just think it's an absolute blast. I was into it. I'd already seen it before, but I was into it from the first scene until the last scene. I might have enjoyed it even more.
Alexis,
So yeah, that's my thing about Ravenous. I think it's a damn good time.
Had you seen Ravenous before this?
Me?
Yes.
No, never.
What were your feelings?
That was.
What were you expecting?
I think somebody mentioned something about vampires originally, and I was like, okay. So I told my friend, like, yeah, this movie is, I don't know, something to do with vampires. I don't know, something esque. I don't know, but so who knows? Went into it, and I was like, wow, this is like so much more homoerotic than I accounted for.
Yes.
Also, I'm be honest, like the music could not figure out who it was. Like I feel like it was the music was having an identity crisis. Like
The music
every
is
other
fantastic.
scene.
I love the music.
I loved. They're like, yes, old timey jig banjo, give it to us, and then all of a sudden the music would change to something somewhat kind of modern and like silly almost.
Yeah,
It's
there's kind of
so
a sick trap
silly.
beat to it a little bit, which I like.
Yeah, no, there was literally like a very like kind of I almost want to say like a sexy drum beat at this
Yes.
the sexy drum beat at one part, and I was just like, what is going on? Like, what's happening?
Yeah, its change in tone is completely represented by the music as well. Where it's like, this
Yeah.
movie is all over the fucking place, and it's
It really
fantastic.
is. Yeah, just basically a bunch of white men in the wild for the most part. And that's exactly what I would assume what's going on. Some just some sexy little drum beats and getting it on in the dead of winter.
I think that this
I love,
movie.
I love how that's your reading of it, and that like doesn't actually occur in this film, but I also know exactly what
No,
you
but
mean.
like I'm
doesn't it
reading
though?
underneath.
yeah,
you know?
yeah. No,
Yeah,
you're right. You're
and-
definitely right.
Well, I
And
think
to be honest, like there was nothing more homoerotic than the last like scene with the giant
In
bear
the
trap,
Jared, yeah.
and like he's just like, hey, are you gonna eat me?
yeah, yeah. If I
That's Alexis's
I
Robert
actually
Carlyle
laughed
impression.
I believe the
So
I believe
much.
the I
I
believe
laughed
the
so much during this
dialogue
movie.
there is if you die first, I'm definitely going to eat you.
Gonna eat you.
If I die first, what will you do? Bon appetit.
Yeah, amazing.
Okay, wait. There are a couple very fun like one-liners in this movie. My personal favorite was, "It's lonely being a cannibal," and I was like, you know what? I'm sure that's true. I'm sure
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think that the director of this, Antonia Bird, has made a good number of like films with a kind of queer subtext. I'm not sure if she herself is part of the queer community, but I think that's something that she has explored before. She's worked with Robert Carlyle a lot, who plays our antagonist, our cannibal.
I love that man.
He's so good.
He's incredible.
And I do think that this movie benefits from having a kind of a woman as a director, because I think you know, I think this movie would make a really good double bill with The Thing, because they're both movies about like pretty much exclusively men
stuck in the dead of winter.
Yeah, stuck in the dead of winter, going crazy and killing each other.
In this isolated place, but one's directed by a man and the other one's directed by a woman.
And The Thing is like so fucking grim. Like, that is such a bleak movie. And this movie is so silly. And it's like, these guys are fucking clowns, right? Like, these guys, what a bunch of dipshits. Like, and literally, if you can't figure out that this movie is a comedy by the opening screen where you get this like lengthy Nietzsche quote, I believe, and then you hear a like cartoon arrow hitting a wall sound that goes like boing, and then it just says "Eat me, Anonymous." If you
Anonymous,
can't, if you can't figure out
that's the thing. From the opening, he that fights with monsters should look to it that he himself does not become a monster. Boom. There is your whole narrative theme right there by Nietzsche. Then, Eat Me by Anonymous. There is also your whole narrative theme for the film. And those two different tones, that's the whole movie, which is what I love how this movie, like with those opening title cards, just immediately like tell you this is what you're about to watch. And all of its inconsistencies, which it's really good. But that's why listeners were talking about Ravenous, is because there's a lot of food going on in this movie, for better or worse.
Alexis, how'd you like the stew? How'd that stew look to you?
Yeah, let's just jump in. I wanted to talk about the stew. I think we should just go right into it. Call me crazy, but that stew looked delicious.
Nasty.
It had potatoes and carrots in it, and the way they were smelling it, they were like, because they've been on the journey through the Sierra Nevadas, through the
femur
dead of winter, all winter. For weeks,
like
they've been in the cold.
He's spooning this giant fucking like excessively large ladle, and then he's like stirring this, and then there's just a giant bone, like a femur, just in there.
I hate
and
to
honestly,
say
it looks kind of goopy.
Like,
it looked kind of gray.
Delicious.
I was like, how fresh is this meat? Isn't it supposed to be fresh? Where's the fresh meat?
I don't know. I think it looked.
Why does it look like
I definitely would have tried it. The way they were smelling it, the way they were sipping at it, I was like, it's cold outside, man. Like, what else we got? Roots, belts, boots. Nah. Hand me a bowl of that stew. And apparently it makes you feel better, makes you stronger.
Oh my god. So I guess
I will reiterate, only white men. I guess it's foolhardy to ask whose side Mick is on in this movie.
Yeah.
Clearly.
But I also
saying.
I'm just saying.
I'm on Martha's side, not my circus, not my monkeys.
I like that this movie, despite being incredibly fucking silly, is like a, pretty good commentary on like the brutality of, Western expansion and Manifest Destiny. Like you literally get that monologue from Carlisle. What is that sound? Who's fucking rooting around over there? Jesus. You get that monologue from Robert Carlyle where he's like, this country is seeking to be whole, stretching out its arms and consuming all it can. I believe that monologue literally starts with him talking about manifest destiny, westward expansion.
Yeah.
It's, it is this, great commentary on, how, as the, United States of America expanded across the continent, it's, much like a Wendigo, just took more and more, never gives.
All it does is take.
I think that there is of course a delicious irony to the fact of like the people who are doing this westward expansion are the ones that are going to be consumed by these cannibals that are being targeted by these cannibals. They're consuming
themselves, yeah.
Yeah, considering that as anybody who has like taken any sort of dive into the actual legitimate history of westward expansion, it's really just a bunch of fucking white people killing brown people over land and then saying I was here first when they actually weren't. So I really actually enjoy the idea of them getting eaten in a soup. That seems fun.
Although
I don't want any, but I'm here for the moment.
I'm here for the moment, and pass me a spoon.
Jesus. Well, I will say that despite, that mostly being the history of westward expansion, this is somewhat inspired by true events. The
Donner Party.
The Donner Party and Alfred Packer, who was also known as the Colorado Cannibal. Yeah. He was a prospector who confessed to cannibalism. And whose story has inspired. He's inspired a few films. There was a biopic called "The Legend of Alfred Packer" that had fucking nothing to do with what actually happened. And there was Trey Parker's first film, "Cannibal the Musical," where he plays Alfred Packer.
Oh my god.
Fucking Trey, dude.
Yeah.
God, I love that man.
I need to see that movie. I've meant to see that for a while. But it was a thing where white people we love getting lost. We love a good cannibal. We love getting lost in the mountains and then immediately turning to cannibalism.
That literally is the white man's audacity, that you can go out into the wilderness and think that you can survive.
Yeah.
Not just that, but being like, whoever our guides are that know this area better than us and have lived here a long time, I think you're wrong. There is a shortcut. And every time somebody does something like that, I swear to God, all I can think about is you two. And just like the confidence with which you would literally just be like, no, absolutely. No, I heard from this guy. He seems like a reputable source. And like, you really want to fucking go 2 weeks this way? No. 3 days, we'll be over. It'll be great. And then Mick would be the first person to fucking eat somebody. 100%.
Okay. Yes. Go on.
Yes. I'm all. Deny it. I beg you. I dare you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Yeah.
We got him.
We got me. You know who I'd like to talk about a little bit? I'd like to do
Cleaves.
I'd like to do another little That Guy corner, because I know we talked about That Guy's last episode.
Chocked full. It's the whole movie is a cast of them.
Who plays Reich?
Reich is played by Neil McDonough, who is like
He's so good and unhinged in pretty much everything I've ever seen him in.
Yeah, he's kind of like a notorious like TV guy. Like he's been in so many fucking TV shows. He's great in Band of Brothers. But he's also like
he's really good in Minority Report.
Yeah, he's got a small role in Minority Report. He's got a small role in the first Captain America movie. He's in Darkman. Like he has been fucking popping up and stuff forever.
He's in Timeline.
Been popping his pussy.
Jesus.
Popping his pussy since the beginning of time.
Oh my god.
He has such pretty eyes. I love. Okay,
he does.
So while we're talking about these wonderful character actors, I want to talk about these wonderful characters and how Colonel Hart, played by Jeffrey Drones, how he's introducing the people at the camp and the funny montage that we get. It's fantastic. So like when he's talking about Private Reich, like I would still clear him. You just cut to him naked in some ice cold water, just screaming. Because he's just enduring this shit. And it tells you everything about that character. Then you have Major Knox, the veterinarian who, you know, has some medical experience and has never met a bottle he doesn't like.
My advice, don't get sick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, my God. That whole thing is just so funny.
Love Cleves, though, because he's like Cleves. Loves peyote.
Yeah,
he's always fully medicated.
The over medicated Private Cleves.
Yes.
He seems like he's having a good time. You know, of everybody out in the wilderness, I feel like me and Cleves would be buddies. You know, like he's just got the vibe, you know, of somebody that you would. I just got back from Santa Cruz. He's got the vibe of many people from that area.
He's got the Santa Cruz vibe.
Yeah.
Plus, you know,
where they're just like, yeah, let's do some ayahuasca.
He's the delightful David Arquette. The other that guy who I'd like to bring up in this movie, and I'm looking at the cast list because I always see this guy and stuff, and I can never fucking remember his name. John Spencer, who plays General Slauson. He's the guy who sends Boyd out to Fort Spencer. He was just a fucking like 90s that guy king.
Yeah.
He's in
Presumed Innocent.
He's
The
in
Rock,
The Negotiator. Yeah, that was one of the first times I remember being like noticing that guy, because when I was like, I don't know, 12 or something, I saw The Negotiator, and then a few years later I saw The Rock, and I was like, hold on, it's that guy again, and he's doing basically the same thing. He was just really good at being kind of a surly authority figure. So, you know, rest in peace, John Spencer. He's great in this movie, and he's the last guy you see eating the stew.
That's right. That's true.
I personally love Jeremy Davies. He plays Toffler, and pretty much all the movies I've ever seen him in, except for maybe Black Phone, he's always playing this kind of like very soft-spoken, like real quiet character.
That's why I can't stand him. I cannot stand him.
You know why?
He's
because
always
the first time
I'm like, shut up. Oh my God. Oh.
Whatchamacallit? He's in Secretary, which is like a movie I've seen like, you know, like half a dozen, maybe almost a dozen times, you know, over like a couple decades. And the character in it, don't love him at all. I'm just like, please, Lee, get as far away from this man as possible. But I appreciate him as an actor, because, you know, we can't all have fucking Neils, you know? If we had too many Neils, it'd be too crazy, you know? And I did love his little,
He plays Upham in Saving Private Ryan. That was the first time I watched him.
Yeah.
And ever since then, he's been ruined for me.
Oh, you've got a
problem. He plays like different iterations of that character, and he just drove me nuts when I first saw that. And it's just like, ugh.
He's also in Dogville, but I can't remember who he plays in Dogville, and I don't want to remember because fuck Dogville.
I really thought you were going to say Dodgeball, and I was like, God fucking damn it, I swear to God. Do we have a Dodgeball cast?
Does it all come back to Dodgeball?
Do we have any Dodgeball cast members in this film? I don't think we do.
No.
But
no, but he has played Charles Manson in Helter Skelter, which I've never seen, but that I feel like maybe he could be good in that. I like him.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I really love the scene where like he's trying to come up with a fucking hymn, and he's like trying to rhyme servant, and then he's just like dervant, vervant, and Calhoun's like fervent. And he's like, yeah, and like finishes his little hymn that he's making, and I'm just like, Wow.
I hate it. I hate it.
I love
Scraping the bottom of the barrel with this one, aren't we?
I love it when he's on the piano and he's like
yes.
trying to come up with a hymn there, and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" He's like,
could you find
come
some
up with a hymn? Well, why don't
Could you find some inspiration
elsewhere?
somewhere else? And could you get us some ice?
That would be me 1,000%. I'd be like, you need to get that shit out of here and get me some ice.
LOL.
I want to talk about Robert Carlyle, though.
Yeah, like, speaking of Charles Manson, Robert Carlyle in this, holy fuck.
He is fantastic in this movie. And
Such Manson vibes.
He's just a fantastic actor in general.
He really is.
Really giving... I like that he's giving a very different type of psycho to Begbie, who he plays in Trainspotting.
Yeah, completely different.
Like, he's just completely fucking manic and erratic in Trainspotting. And in this, he's basically frontier Dracula. To the point where he is literally kind of costumed like Dracula towards the end with, like, kind of a fucking blood red cape type outfit. And he's got his little,
and his mustache and the goatee.
Yeah, like he cleans up nice.
He does,
but
he's a handsome boy in this.
Him just like making cannibal puns when Knox is asking if he can help with the stew, and he's like, perhaps later you might contribute.
Contribute.
Oh, so good.
I just think he is so good. Breakfast, lunch, reinforcements.
Reinforcements, yeah.
He's just like always been such a great character actor, and I feel bad because I feel like when I first saw this, I was kind of like, oh, I feel like he's kind of a poor man's Tim Roth, but I don't think that anymore. I think Robert Carlyle is absolutely a wonderful flavor to have in any of your movie, and I eat it up.
He owns this movie. He is so good. I couldn't see anyone else playing his character.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, he's so good, especially when he is because he's two different characters in this movie. He starts as this persona that he's putting on of someone dealing with some incredible trauma who's not right in the head, and then he's this calm, collected, conniving cannibal. It's just like his spectrum of performances within this one movie is so good. Every scene he's in, he completely takes it away, which is saying something because Guy Pearce in this is also really, really good, and they share a lot of scenes together.
Guy Pearce in this. This was also pre-Memento. I kind of forget that there was like a little kind of Guy Pearce leading man period in the late 90s because
because he does LA Confidential, and then he does Ravenous, and then he does Memento.
Yeah. And yeah, I really like Guy Pearce. Like, I think he is
love that man.
Very, very serviceable wherever you plug him in.
Side note.
Yes.
I had a friend who at one time told me that Guy Pearce was their ideal male body type that they wished to achieve. And I was like, oh, yeah, he's super hot. And then he was like, yeah, like him, like in Memento. And I was like, oh, he's underfed. Like, Memento? And then he's like, yeah, Memento. And I was like, I think you have body dysmorphia.
Oh, my God.
But that's fine. So, yeah, if anybody ever tells you that, just know that they probably have an eating disorder.
Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, no, if anyone really wants to achieve the body type of a man who is losing his mind and his memories as he hunts for his wife's killer, one, that's really cool, but two, yeah, you're probably not in a good headspace. Let's see, what else do I have about Ravenous? Yeah, I literally did write. That's funny that we're talking about this because I made a note that just says Guy Pearce is really great at looking unwell.
No, he really is.
He is.
I love it when he's like, I love it when Jeffrey Jones's character comes back and it's revealed, spoiler alert, that he has joined the fray with cannibalism. And they're sitting down and they have some stew and Carlisle is there and they're sitting and they go, this please, like this is a civilized thing. And they cut to Guy Pearce just like cough up blood and his eyes are crossed and shit. That made me laugh so hard. Yeah. He was really good in this.
There's also a little acting thing that Carlisle does that I love in the final scene, because right before he goes and digs up the knife that he's hidden outside of this cave where he ate a bunch of people so that he can start killing off our soldiers, he makes these kind of like weird little like animalistic sounds.
He's almost like a dog barking kind of thing. Yeah.
And he seems like this completely different, like kind of put together, again, suave sort of guy when he comes back as Colonel Ives. But then when we get to our kind of final confrontation between him and Boyd, he starts making those noises again, and you're kind of harkened back to like, despite all of his like posturing, he is still this like rabid, hungry beast that just wants to consume everything. And then when he gets hit by the bear trap, he just goes, that was really sneaky.
I love that.
So good.
I love that.
Yeah.
So fucking
I have to say, when I first watched this, again, like the way it opens, it's like, oh, this is like a comedy, I guess. But then when they're going out to the cave that was described in this grisly, horrific affair, and he starts doing his thing with his hands and his voice, and meanwhile, the soldier is down
there.
Yeah, when he's down in the cave and he's like counting the bodies. It's like, how many people did they say was in his party? 6? There's 5 bodies. Like, he's the murderer. That shit like has me on the edge of my seat. Like, that's really solid suspense to the point of like, I'm actually like kind of terrified at what is about to happen. And then he starts killing everybody, and then the banjo music kicks in.
Yeah,
and you have a chase.
And I do kind of agree that Toffler is kind of the most annoying character that we want to see die, and I think Antonia Bird agrees, because it's when he's being chased that like suddenly the fiddle music just becomes,
the music changes.
Yeah, it just becomes really fucking jaunty. That is how I would describe a lot of the score.
Yeah, we're having a good, fun little chase.
It's like a barn dance song. Yeah.
It's so fucking funny.
Yeah, when me and my friend were watching it, I was like, what is this music? What's happening?
It's literally the first time I watched it, the thing that jumped out to me. I was like, what is going on with the fucking music? And
fucking music.
Like,
it's
now
great.
I really do think that the music is like... It clues you into, like, what the tone is supposed to be. Yeah, Alexis?
I think the best part of the music, though, is that, like, it gets to these points where there's jaunty little fun to be had here, you know? And then it goes back to, like, this old-timey, like, music score. I don't know. It definitely is an identity crisis out here.
Yeah. I really enjoy this movie. Alexis, would you say overall you enjoyed Ravenous?
I would say overall I do not regret watching the movie. I would say
Tactful.
I probably wouldn't go out of my way to watch it again. But that's just honestly because I don't personally enjoy watching white men, you know, pick at each other in the dead of winter. One
of the best genres.
It's directed by John Carpenter.
Yeah.
There you go.
Did you hear his fucking comments on Barbie?
And I feel like that gives me a free pass of saying whatever I want to say about Ravenous. It was just that one comment I just made.
You're allowed.
So.
You're allowed.
There you
Hey,
go.
listen, whether or not you said it, we want to hear your thoughts here on the Film Majors. Speaking of hearing thoughts, did you guys hear John Carpenter's thoughts on Barbie?
No.
No.
Just
no.
completely fucking out of pocket. But, you know, again, when you made the thing They Live, Big Trouble in Little China, In the Mouth of Madness, you can be as cranky as you fucking want to be. It's just like, I read them and I was like, fucking okay, John.
What'd he say?
I don't remember exactly, but it was just kind of like, you know, I didn't really get it. You know, it's fine, I guess, whatever. Like, just
amazing.
I mean, like, even when he's giving compliments, he's like, I like that Jordan Poole, you know? Like, just...
Yeah, like that's the best case scenario right there.
Ornery. Also, David Arquette makes a fucking wild vocal choice in this movie.
Yeah.
He really does. I kept thinking about Deputy Dewey. That's all I could, like, halfway through the movie, I thought of Deputy Dewey, and I was like, oh, can't unsee it now.
Yeah.
He's the lovable, bumbling bumbler.
Indeed.
Him going, beans, bacon, local women, property. I'm like, what? That's what we're doing. I remember seeing this for the first
women,
time.
Martha, no women.
Local women, no
that
women.
Shit was so funny.
Yeah, I remember seeing this the first time. I saw this shortly after I had seen Scream for the first time. I think it was because both this and Scream were on Netflix at the time, and I was like, oh, David Arquette again. Let's see what he's up to. And I watched it and I was like, that's what we're doing? Bizarre.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Martha, played by Sheila Toothy, I love that that's how the movie ends, where the reinforcements come back and Martha is showing them there, and she looks through the hole in the door, and she sees our two characters, Cleves and Captain John. They're both in the bear claw trap and dying slowly, and she just like looks in, just kind of like blinks, turns around, and fucking walks away.
Dips the fuck
Not my
out.
circus, not my monkeys.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the final shot, is her just being like, man, these white people are big medicine. This shit, no. It reminded me a little bit of the end of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, where it's just like this native character just like fucking walking away from these crazy ass white people, and that's what closes the movie. I appreciate that. I think it has a really solid ending.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, guys, thanks for getting up early.
She is the only one who survives the whole ordeal, is the woman. And I think that is so representative of having a female director. The fucking one woman in the movie is actually the only survivor. I love that.
Yeah, she's like, no, she's the only one.
She also knows that we mind our own business around white people.
Yeah, she's the only one who understands that, you got to get the fuck out of here.
Exactly.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize the screenwriter of this also wrote Ocean's 11.
Really?
Yeah, shouts out Ted Griffin. You know, he knows how to...
A man of many talents.
Yeah, he knows how to write a large group of men with quirky characteristics.
Yeah, he's tossing a salad with lots of ingredients.
There you go.
Wow.
There you go.
Well, guys, thanks for getting up early and talking Ravenous with me. This was, I was very happy that I watched this. I dozed a little bit last night during the last 30 minutes of it, and I woke up and I rewatched the last 30 because I was like, I fucking love this movie. I'm not missing any of the fine notes of this delicious meal.
Exactly.
You know, I'm glad this movie exists. I'm glad we all talked about it. And regrettably, we only have one more episode of spooky season.
I know, it's awful.
Damn.
Gone too soon.
I hate to see it go, but I love to watch it leave. Because for our final episode of spooky season, we are once again getting into the weird. And we will be discussing Possession, which is a 1981 film directed by Andrzej Zalewski. It's
Nailed it.
Yeah, I believe he's Polish, I want to say.
Difficult. Yeah, I think he's Polish.
Yeah, difficult name to pronounce, but it stars Isabel Adjani and Sam motherfucking Neill.
Sam Neill.
My king.
Hell yeah. Alexis, I forget, have you seen this yet?
I have not seen it, but it's like every single time I have a video on TikTok come across that's like horror movie recommendations, this is agreed upon, like, that's fucked up, but
it's
you
so
should
good.
see it.
Yeah,
I can't wait to talk about it with you guys.
So it's like it's been on my list for like a while.
Back when I was on the Cursed Bird app earlier this year, I kind of remember seeing Possession like breaking out as like a, have you fucking seen this movie? And I watched it this January, and to date, that is the only film I have seen in 2023 that I have given 5 stars to. So I am very excited to talk Possession. And if you, our listener, would like to watch Possession, you can find it on AMC Plus, and that literally might be it. I'm not seeing that you can rent it anywhere. But, you know, let me know if you can. Figure it out. You know, I'm not here to hold your hand. But yeah, you can watch it there. And if you want to find us, the Film Majors, on social media, you can find us at Film Majors Pod on Instagram, Threads, TikTok, and Blue Sky. And if you want to fire us an email and let us know, have you been following along with Zach's Halloween Spooktacular? You know, I've been doing my best, but I haven't had much time.
If you're not, you should.
Yeah, it's a delight. And since this episode is coming out on October 20th, tonight's film will be The Blair Witch Project, another 1999 horror film set in the woods. So go ahead and check that out. All right, and with that, stay spooky, stay kooky, and we'll fucking catch you on the next one.
See ya, ghouls.
Bye.